Good morning. Thank you for joining us very early at NASA's Kennedy Space Center here in Florida for the launch postponement briefing for STS-127 mission for Space Shuttle Endeavour. Joining me tonight is Mike Moses, Space Shuttle Program Launch Integration Manager, and Mike Lienbach, Shuttle Launch Director. We'll hear from the panelists and then we'll take some questions. Mr. Moses.
Thanks. I'm going to let Mike talk first here because he'll tell you what happened and how we scrubbed, and then we'll come back to me and I'll talk about what we're going to do next if we can figure that out.
Okay. Well, we got into tanking on time this evening. Everything was going perfectly fine per plan. But just like on the STS-119 mission, we suffered a leak at the ground umbilical carrier plate just as soon as we got into the topping part of the sequence on the hydrogen load. The signature, the leak signature, was almost identical to what we had 2 flows ago. The guys on console cycled the valve as they did previously. They cycled the valve 4 times trying to clear up that leak, and in the past, every now and then that'll work for us. This time, again, it didn't work for us, and so we were out of spec leakage at that disconnect. That's the disconnect at the side of the tank that falls away right at T0, so we have to maintain that connection until we lift off. So again, we suffered that leak there. We did our standard troubleshooting. The leak did not clear up, and we got into our drain operation at that point. Looking briefly at the plan ahead, it's going to be very similar to what we did for STS-119. It's a 4-day scrub turnaround is what we're estimating right now. That's a preliminary plan, but I would not expect it to be any shorter than that. We're going to have a scrub turnaround meeting with the launch team here at 2:30, and I'll go back over there and get together with the guys, and we'll put together the details of the troubleshooting plan. But here again, it's going to be very, very similar to what we went through last time on STS-119. And so we'll see where that plan lays out. We'll show that to Mike tomorrow afternoon or Sunday whenever we're ready to get together with the program and see what that would result in another launch attempt. So another leak out of spec. There was no way we could have continued, and we did our standard troubleshooting, try to clear that leak up, and nothing worked. And so we got into our drain. The drain should be complete right about now. And we get into an inerting, boil off and inerting of the external tank. And that'll take us the better part of 24 hours to get that done. And then we can get our hands on the hardware. So that'll be, sometime Sunday morning until we can even get our hands on the hardware. And then we'll know a lot better after that time what exactly the problem is inside that system. So with that, that's where we stand. We had to get into a drain, and that's where the team is now.
So let's see. Pretty much, again, similar to what we had last time. There's not a lot of mission management team decisions to make based on this. We kind of know what the problem is, and we know how long it's going to take and what we have to go do. So we're going to let Mike's team work, refine the plan, tweak it, but we're pretty much looking at that 4-day kind of plan, looking at it no earlier than the 17th launch attempt. And so we decided not to meet with the MMT. There's no real decision-making to make. We're going to get back together Sunday, probably late Sunday afternoon, after we do get out there at the hardware and take the GUP apart and see what's happening with the seal. There's some other little nuances of the turnaround plan that'll give Mike's team time to work through, the launch team time to work through and see what our real posture is for coming back and trying another launch attempt. Obviously, the 17th is a range problem. There's a conflict out there with LRO, LCROSS. We haven't even begun to work that yet. We've had some thoughts ahead of time. We didn't really go very far because we didn't think we need them. But we'll start those negotiations tomorrow and see where we get both with the range and with the NASA payload with LRO, LCROSS. So no real changes there, and I don't have any real information for you, but we'll keep you posted as to how that goes. Looking at our window, we have from the shuttle side and the station side, we have through the 19th. Our beta cutout officially starts on the 20th. We've done the math, and we know we can pull the 20th in pretty easily from a thermal standpoint. We do have to take a look at the how the atmosphere has been dragging down station. Hopefully, it has been dragging it down a little. We need to come down just a little bit for that window to work. There's a phase angle that sets up based on our launch days what our catch-up rate is able to be. We have a limit that we're able to do with the shuttle, and right now we're close to that limit on the 20th. We think it'll be good, but we'll have to wait and sharpen our pencils as we get a little closer. So we think we'll be able to get the 20th as our last launch attempt before we stand down, and then we'd come back in July. I think it's the 11th would be our first day back on the range after a beta cutout. So that's where we stand with the range. I haven't even begun those negotiations. It's the middle of the night, and there's no need to do that now. We'll wait till morning. And like I said, we kind of know we're on a 96-hour, 4-day plan here, so there's no real rush to see where that goes. We had this happen before. We didn't really find root cause. We've been testing the GUP and the interface. One of the things that's hindering us is we tore apart all our test hardware a few years ago, and we no longer have that umbilical mock-up down here at the Cape that lets us do dedicated testing. So we've been doing testing on the vehicle as we go. We did a lot of testing actually with 125's GUP. We did a lot of testing with this one. And testing is probably not the right word. We did a lot of measurements, I should say. We measured how that seal fits. We looked at it under a microscope. We looked at it under cryo conditions. We didn't really find anything that would tell us what common cause is, but obviously something is going on. The second time in 3 flights, something is going on. So teams are being kicked off to go look at that and talk about what happened. Did something change that we don't know about? But really our plan is going to be pretty much what it was last time, which is just R&R that seal, and then we really have to tank again to see what happens. So again, we're kind of in that same boat. We were joking that they could have just played the tape for you guys of what we talked about back on STS-119. So with that, that's all I have. We'll get to questions so we can let the guys get back to work here today.
Thank you.